Our first IVP candidate is John. Antonio, whenever you're ready.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John D, and I'm a fourth-year international studies major. And I'd just like to start this off by saying that I'm honored to be standing before you today as a candidate for PASS's 2019-2020 Vice President of Internal Affairs. The path to this very position has been filled with an array of challenges, but nothing I wasn't willing to take head on. The majority of my first year at UC Irvine was spent setting the foundation for my future, which centered around building a better me and finding stability. Tonight I can say with certainty that I completed both of these goals and so much more. And I have PASS and those around me to thank. I first came to PASS as a general member in the fall of 2017, but it wasn't until the following quarter that I fully immersed myself within the club. It was a blur, because the next thing I knew, I had signed up for not one, not two, but 4 different programs. So tutoring, the tutor program, mentorship, HSO, and the shadow program. Originally planning to only be involved with 2 of these programs, I chose to challenge myself and take a role in each one. My time as a tutor kicked off my involvement with PASS, as I assisted people with the questions they had in regards to writing assignments. Joining this program allowed me to develop connections with my fellow tutors and members of PASS that attended our weekly study hours. While the program is not currently in place, it will always mark the beginning of when things started to click for me in PASS. Becoming a mentor is up next, and I'd be lying if I didn't admit that this was the most intimidating of the 4 programs for me to sign up for. I submitted my application within the final hours of the set deadline, and I haven't looked back since. My first run as a mentor taught me a lot about myself and helped me discover the confidence that had been absent since transferring to UCI. I am now a mentor-free, and I'm proud of the support system we have built together. HSO is the other program I'm currently in my second go with, and these past years have been truly a gratifying experience, especially with the introduction of our own mentorship program with the students at Magnolia High School. Being a facilitator has only strengthened my bonds with those I work with on a weekly basis, and has shown me the dedication needed to be a part of this program. And finally, the program that solidified my place in PASS during my first year was the shadow program. After reading through the positions, there was one that caught my attention: Vice President of Financial Affairs. My duties as a shadow revolved around the Lumpia Shanghai fundraiser. Something I'd say I'm pretty well versed in nowadays. Time went on, and the next thing I know, I was standing in the science library in disbelief that I was going to be PASS's financial vice president. And for me, it doesn't get more full circle than finding out I had been voted FVP at the PASS study hours. Going from general member to FVP had its share of challenges, but it felt like I was starting from scratch with the position being vacant in the previous 2 boards. There was an adjustment period, and while there were times I felt knocked down, I always chose to get back up and keep going. In my time as FVP, it has been my responsibility to watch over all monetary transactions throughout the year. I take pride in saying we have been financially successful this year through our Lumpia fundraisers, collaborations with businesses like Dave & Buster's, Lay's, Pizza Press, and Broxy, and gaining funding through ASUCI and the Cross-Cultural Center through our proposals and presentations to them. There are a handful of behind-the-scenes duties that put all of these events into motion. And while it was demanding at times, I can leave saying I loved serving all of PASS and its members as Vice President of Financial Affairs. So that leads me to where I stand at this very moment: a candidate for Vice President of Internal Affairs. I'm running for IVP because I believe in PASS's abilities to impact lives by providing members with a space to be themselves, and through programs that develop skills that can be utilized outside of PASS. Being part of mentorship, tutoring, and HSO programs, and being FVP have prepared me for what lies ahead if elected IVP. being the caster in the shadow program and my time on exec for PASS this year will also play a crucial role in making sure the transition to this position is smooth. My duties as IVP will include taking on the internship program. I've had the chance to work with the last 2 intern classes, and I will miss them grow together. And it's the time I spend with them that will leave me humbled and honored to lead my own group if given the opportunity. If elected, I hope to create a professional environment that will prepare the interns in their future endeavors. I will preach to them the importance of communication and teamwork, and assist them in developing skills and work ethic that they can use beyond their time with PASS. In addition to helping the interns prep for their future careers, my goal is to support them in growing as individuals. Other duties will include identifying and preparing future board members through our shadow program, and overseeing major events and activities such as open mic night, banquet, and the beginning of the year and end of the year bonfires. I've seen firsthand the dedication and resolve that the position of internal vice president calls for, and it is a challenge I openly embrace. If elected as IVP, I hope to add to or enhance the current foundation in place, while continuing to extend a handout to current and future members of the UCI community that are in search of a place to call their own. PASS means the world to me, and I promised myself that I would leave it in a better place when I accepted the position of FVP. It has provided me with more support than I could possibly ask for, and if given the opportunity, I would like to pass this on to current and future members as your Vice President of Internal Affairs. Thank you.